Oh man, I told you we had something very special for you lined up, and then man, we are very excited to have UNC legend and North Carolina Hall of Fame inductee, a UNC's very own, and an NFL legend as well. Greg Ellis joining us on the show. What's going on, Greg? How you doing, sir?
Man, nothing much. Thanks for having me on.
Man,
Good
outstanding,
morning.
outstanding. It's a pleasure to have you. By the way, congratulations on the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame induction. So congratulations there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. But one of the things I wanted to kick off and wanted to talk about was something that I read recently. That I saw that you were tackling mental health with a new and free services app. And real quickly, just tell us, what gave you the passion, what gave you the drive, what made you want to say, you know what, it's something I can do and be impactful in this space.
Well, since retiring from football, as my career winded down, I started doing stuff in the content creating side, studio work. And so I wanted to make a difference. Obviously, I have dealt with some mental issues myself, not severely. People probably some people don't notice, but I deal with anxiety. But even bigger than that, a lot of my friends, man, family, especially teammates, that really struggled, and those issues really surfaced a lot, once they retired from playing their sport. And so I just took, what I have done, years since retiring from football, and okay, what can I do with these tools that I have? And that birthed our app, and birthed a movie to do our part to try to help bring awareness to mental wellness.
Oh man, that is so special. Again, we talked to UNC great, NFL great, and even like I said earlier, a better person had a chance to hang out with him down in Greensboro for the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame inductee. It was so great seeing you there, Greg. And again, it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and understanding that not only you had this app going on, but you was doing appearances at different parts of different places around the country. Talk about how you accompany some production stuff that you're doing in person with this mental health situation.
Exactly. And so we're having a mental awareness symposium, mental wellness awareness symposium. The symposium consists of, obviously, we'll introduce the app to that city, and then we'll show a movie about mental wellness. And then we have a panel discussion. The panel discussion is led by professional mental health care providers from that particular community. So, case in point, we hosted one in Greensboro. Was made the first, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, May the first.
Mm-hmm.
And so we use mental health care providers that are local to the Greensboro market, with the purpose and intent to introduce Greensboro, or whatever city we are in, to introduce them to the resources that they have, right next door to them. You'd be surprised how many people don't know that help is but, sometimes a couple of steps away or a couple of miles down the street away.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to help introduce people to that market of people that can help them on a professional level as well. And after that discussion is over, we open up for a Q&A with the audience.
Awesome. We are talking to UNC great, NFL great, Greg Ellis, talking about the development of a new app for mental health called GHM, or Getting My Help. Can you tell us, describe this app and how it actually works, what it does?
Exactly. Probably the biggest feature that we have on the app, probably, I don't like to use the word my favorite, but it's a lot of good things on the app. But this is one I think is that drives the whole app, if you would. And that is what we call our resource tile. And you click on that, and then you click on the category. So, case in point, we will have schizophrenia,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, what else? PTSD, several other mental health disorders that are listed once you click on category. Now, once you click, you select whatever disorder that you're dealing with. Let's just say depression. And so I click on depression. and then I click on the state that I reside in. Then I click on the city that I reside in.
Wow.
And once I've done that, the app will generate maybe 5 to 9 different outlets, not professional media, but professional mental health outlets that you can contact for help, if you would. Now, that all that is free to use the app. The app is free to download, but I wouldn't say unfortunately because everybody has to make a living. But the services that you use from those individual organizations and companies, that's up to them to charge or not to charge. We
Right.
can't control all of that. But our goal is to help people. We want to provide that conduit that people conveniently can find help without having to ask so many people, because that's one of the biggest reasons that people don't go get the help. They don't know which way to turn. And people a lot of times are apprehensive about asking their friends and sometimes even their family, where can I get help if I'm dealing with depression, if I'm dealing with anxiety, if I'm having suicidal thoughts. So with that app, that feature allows people to have a library of help that is right next door to them.
Wow, that's good stuff there.
Outstanding. We're talking UNC legend and North Carolina Sports Hall of Famer, Greg Ellis. And, you've done so many things. You've been so successful in your own career, and you had such a tremendous impact. Like you said, you were doing things on the media side, the movie side, the play side, doing so many things. But talk a little bit about your own personal journey, mental health journey. That one of the things that you discovered along the way during your own personal mental health journey.
And I'm sorry, you said talk a little about what? Say it one more time.
About your own personal mental health journey and some of the things that you discovered about that along your own journey.
And I'm glad you asked that. And I have to be an example, right? Because after all, I'm a huge advocate for mental wellness. When I say I'm glad you asked that, you're the first person that asked that actually, that question that way. And that's very good. For me, my personal was two sides of my personal. One side I would address this first. It's the people that I have been close to, all my life, my friends, through playing football, and those type of relationships, because I consider that personal with me as well. And so, through playing football, man, a lot of teammates that have struggled, and a lot of teammates that, it's easy to identify some of them that have struggled. But maybe with somebody like myself, and several other my teammates that I've recently learned about, he's contemplated, kind of took some steps and actually wanting to commit suicide. Well, let me correct that. Not wanting to commit suicide, but felt that was his only way of dealing with his issues, was to commit suicide. Now, thank God he didn't do it. So there are a lot of family friends that are near and dear to me that, have struggled with it. But myself personally, if you ever notice a lot of my interviews, even this one right now, I always keep a towel, because certain times during the interview, and even just certain times that I'm just sitting around, my mind races. And most people call that anxiety. And so that's what I deal with. And but I strive to never let it limit me. I go and do everything that I feel that, that God has told me to do, or give me ability to do, or want me to do, or that put in my heart to do. And I go and do those things. But I do them oftentimes with a towel, because, racing thoughts come up, and then I just will break out into sweat. And that's challenging, right? Especially it's challenging for media, right? When you're in front of a camera and people tell me, they say, Greg, man, you should do commentating. And I'm glad they think I'm articulate enough to do commentating.
Right.
But, one of the things that limits me from doing it full time is the fact that, I could be in the middle of a segment and just just break out into sweat. I mean, a real bad sweat. Not just palm sweating, but like covered in sweat. And that's, that's not appealing to be on national TV or even local TV
Yeah.
That's right.
with a face full of sweat. And it's not accepted in our society to, in the middle of your conversation, to wipe your face off, if you would. And so that's been a huge obstacle for me, and really has limited me in some, potential career opportunities for as media is concerned. But, you can tell that, I'm a Christian guy, and I believe God has things to happen for a reason. And me dealing with anxiety has allowed me to open up and to create, what we have, our mental health app, to create movies. We also do, we interview people and they share their testimonies as they have dealt with mental health challenges themselves. So I look at it as a positive, right? That I've been charged to take what I struggle with and use the tools that I have and to flip that and try to help people overcome mental wellness issues. So,
Wow.
but thank you for asking that question.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Again, we're talking to Greg Ellis, who, of course, UNC great, NFL great, and recently inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. By the way, Greg, one of your Tar Heel brothers, Mike Pringley, who's a good friend of this show, told me to give you a shout out and say what's up. So he wanted me to make sure.
Yeah.
Pringley,
Mike,
good
he
guy.
texted me and told me congratulations. So Pringley was my guy.
Yeah. So speaking of just flipping a little bit, talk about being inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. What does that mean to you?
Wow, that means a lot. When you look at the North Carolina Hall of Fame and you see your the guys that are not just guys, but people, men and women who are blessed to be a part of it. And one that stands out to me is one of the best race car drivers of all times, Richard Petty.
Yeah.
And, while we were there, Reese, Richard walked in and, man, he kind of shocked me, to be honest with you. And, he has his signature look with the hat on and the dark sunglasses. And I actually approached him and asked him, could I take a picture with him? and so he said, yeah, man, go ahead. And so I got a picture with Richard Petty. Me as a kid growing up in North Carolina, NASCAR was a huge sport. Now, I never, of course, went to a race, but I remember, man, we went to a dollar store. I think it was Family Dollars. And in those days, they sold those kind of cars about this big. They were plastic, but they were modeled after, NASCAR. And so I remember, my brother and I getting those little cars, and we used to go and on a hill in our neighborhood, and we would just, of course, there wasn't remote control. All they do was just function off of gravity, meaning you could put them on a hill and they'll roll down.
Right.
But we used to put them up there and let them race down. So when you see people like that, in a organization such as the Hall of Fame, and now your name has been called to be a part of that, you certainly don't take that lightly. But when you really take the time to reflect on what it takes to be in the Hall of Fame, the shameful thing is that, the people that help you get there, the teammates, the coaches, their names are not going to be mentioned. And so I want to make sure that I recognize every single teammate, that kid on my middle school basketball team that never got a chance to play in a game. All of those people, man, the assistant coaches, the water boy, everybody has something to do with the individual being accepted into a Hall of Fame, because it takes a team for one individual to be successful. As great as a basketball player that Michael Jordan was, he had to have somebody to get him the basketball. It appears sometimes that Michael Jordan can do it all by himself, but, as we know, he can't. He has to have the trainer. Everybody has to have the head coach, the assistant coaches, all of that, man. So once again, I want everybody who's ever been a part of any team, any aspect, I want to say thank you. And just every time that Greg Ellis is in the North Carolina Hall of Fame, just some way find it and understand that you yourself are a part of that. And obviously, I want to thank my parents, mom and dad, my brother, and above all of them, I want to thank my family, my wife, and my kids, because again, they're a part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially my wife, playing all that sports. We dated in high school, married our third year, right after our second year of college, and we're still together today.
Awesome.
And so with 3 kids, so obviously when I was playing all those sports, especially football, she was there, raising our kids and holding it down on the home front. So again, much thanks to everyone.
Oh man, that's great. And by the way, guys, where he fell and mentioned that he played a little basketball too. Coach Ford was there with me. We was there together. We was talking to Greg about how Greg wanted to be the go-to guy. In particular, one play he playing junior varsity at Carolina basketball.
Okay.
And Coach called to play for somebody else, Greg. So if you called it for me, we probably won the game, right,
Wow.
Greg? Is that right, Greg? It's something like that, right, Greg?
Yeah, something like that. You got it perfect. I won't add or take away from your version of that story.
Notice he said your version. What a great segment we've had. May is Mental Health Month, and we have been talking to the great Greg Ellis. To close us out, as you're tackling mental health, can you tell us again the name of the app, how to find it, and do you have a website that will also detail the cities that you're going to unveil the other parts of the platform that this entails?
Exactly. And so 2 parts. The app first is simply getting, just GETTING. So getting my help. So GETTING MYHELP, getting my help. You can search that in the Apple Store or in the Android store as well. The app is free to download. So I encourage people, please, get the app. And if you are wanting to learn about particular disorders, make sure you click on the resource tab where you can learn about them. And especially if you need help, click on that resource tab and click categories and click whatever you're dealing with and follow the prompts. Click your state and your city, and it'll pull up several ones for that particular disorder that are local to you, health providers that are local to you. But understand, again, some of those resources may be free that you use, and some of them may come with a price. But using the app itself is free. Downloading the app is free. So that's how you can find the app in the App Store, the free app. Other question was the cities. And so now you have to go to have to go through another web page, and that is called My Dear the Movie. So just MYDEARTHEMOVIE movie. So .com. My Dear the Movie. You go there, you click on upcoming shows, and that will show you where we're going to premiere the movie in the near future. We're currently adding cities, and so please reach out to me if you want us to make a stop in your city. Doesn't guarantee if you reach out that we are able to make a stop in your city, but we would do our best to make a stop in your city.
Okay.
Awesome.
So that's how they can find our next stops. And also the app.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Greg, I will say this. It is a pleasure to have you on. You've been on the show with us before. And it's a pleasure to have you back on with us. And it was actually great to hear you and give you an opportunity to share your own personal journey, your own personal story, because there are a lot of people that may be listening that need to hear that. So thanks you so much. Congratulations.
Appreciate you, Greg.
Can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you all.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
That was awesome, man. The guy.